Coffers today that we played a lot of on stream, especially during the PT testing season. I think that the metagame has kind of shifted in a way that this deck is very, very well positioned. I am worried about a couple of things. I'm worried about the Yawgmoth matchup with Cauldron now being like especially bad, but I'm kind of thinking that still with the main deck Cling to Dust, main deck Voidwalker, maybe that won't be such a big deal. It's very similar to the version we played last time. Nassif was working on the deck, and he was playing he wasn't playing the Scam Grief package, which is something I like a lot. It kind of like, reduces your clunky draws, reduces your number of 4-drops. But I'm mostly playing this today to like combat the bean decks. I think that this deck is like probably significantly better than Scam at beating the bean decks. Just main decking for Sheoldred seems like such a nightmare for those strategies. Like, the Coffers matchup is pretty tough because there's like 2 Sheoldreds in that deck. Main decking 4 is just so crazy. I still do think this deck is significantly better than the Coffers deck. It's like one huge thing about Coffers is you just don't get a real sideboard because you're a card in the Great Creator deck. This deck gets like a nice, fully fleshed out sideboard. Sideboards are really good in decks with Fatal Push because Fatal Push is a card that's dead in a lot of matchups or not super effective in a lot of matchups. And also like you can mulligan like subpar hands too. Like Coffers, you have to keep a lot of subpar hands because you have so many like non-functional, like, oh, I just have 2 Coffers, no other lands. Oh, I have 3 Urborgs, no other lands. I'm a big believer in this archetype. I'm still liking the one which is Cottage, I think, as the utility land over like playing like Takanuma Shizo and like potentially some number of Hive of the Eye Tyrants. You already want to be playing a lot of fetch lands because you're playing 4 Fatal Pushes, and so having access to one which is Cottage to put back a Bowmaster or a Sheoldred and kind of reduce the mana flood, I think is worth it over playing the other black utility lands. We have an Urborg to kind of help with the fact that we're playing Witch's Cottage in deck with all these Field of Ruins and Demolition Fields, but also these lands turn into swamps if it's a huge deal, or like, the first copy of Witch's Cottage in your 25 land deck, where you have all swamps except for 6 Field of Ruins that turn into swamps. It's been, I think, pretty easy to include and not a very big deal. The removal suite is like something that's like a little bit up in the arms for me. I've been liking 1 Thirst, 1 Victim Knight, 2 Edicts, but I could see like cutting this for an Edict. I could see not main decking the Victim Knight. Victim Knight's mostly just Terminate though, and I like 1 Terminate, I don't know. Master of the 10 months again, thank you, welcome back. I don't know. I'm gonna mulligan this. Again, what's so broken about the Beanstalk is like, if these are 2 beans, like, or like if we're playing the bean deck, we're like, oh yeah, we have to mulligan 2 beans though. Let's keep this. Let's put back the Cottage. Okay, we're immediately up against Tron into Relic. Although our Tron matchup is pretty good, I think. We have a bunch of main deck Field of Ruins. We have Dauthi Voidwalker. Bowmaster can actually be really very nice against them too. It is kind of interesting if I'm supposed to lead on Void. I think I'm probably supposed to lead on Voidwalker over Bowmaster, but I do also think I could probably get more pressure on them if I Bowmaster, and I have double Sign in Blood. You know what? I think with double Sign in Blood, I'm going to go for Bowmaster instead here. Make a token. Okay, so let's go and kill the token. Was not expecting this to happen, but I think it ends up working out extra well. Am I going to play SC Jealous? Yeah, I'm going to go to SC Jealous. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to play this, or I'm going to play Hardened Scales. Oh, sorry, not Hardened Scales. Sorry, this deck or the LDDP Bean deck. Just so wired for Hardened Scales. No, they played a Forest, and they also did not. They haven't tutored anything towards Tron, so I'm kind of thinking that they're not gonna have a lot here. Is Honorog doing coverage of Dallas? I don't think so. It's not one of their bigger tournaments. I'm gonna Sign in Blood myself, try to hit my land drop. Failed, unfortunately. It's not one of their bigger tournaments. it's like their main event is a Flesh and Blood tournament, which is kind of sad, right? Okay, so if I draw a land, I guess I only have one Sun and Blood. Never mind. So they find an Oblivion Stone. They don't play a Tron land though, but they can pop the Oblivion Stone next turn. Interesting. So if I Sign and Blood them, they go to 14. Then they go to 12. Then we attack for 5. We put them down to 7. Isn't that because once we push them out? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not brave enough for politics. Okay, if they play Wormcoil, we just Victim of Night. It gets exiled because of Voidwalker. Bad Chef Fluence, the 7 months. Thank you. So I think what it's gonna, I'm kind of hoping they main phase pop the Oathstone, which they should, right? Because I have the, I guess I'm not hoping that because I have the Voidwalker. So if they wait until my turn to pop the Oathstone, I'll be able to cast the card Liberated, which will probably be a win. So I can Cottage back the Bowmaster and then play Bowmaster Voidwalker. Voidwalker be primed and ready to kill a card, and the Bowmaster is representing a lot of damage against the ring. Is there anything notable that Victim of Night doesn't hit? No, not really. Nothing notable. No, but they don't get a card off their star either because the Voidwalker. They do get to draw 2 cards here. Cottage back. Bowmaster. I found this deck really struggles against Needle. You just try to dodge it or has some tech for Needle Ring. I haven't really struggled much against it. I think the dodge it line has been, or plan has been totally fine. They know I have the Bowmaster, so they may play around it by not tapping the ring. So I think we just main phase it here. Weird game where they've just been so far away from Tron the whole time. It's not like super common, I think. But it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like just, if they needle your one ring, it's kind of like games where, you know, you're playing blue-white control and they necromantia your card draw spell. It's not exactly like a one-to-one comparison, but it is something you can play through without too much problem. You'll lose to it sometimes and you'll beat it sometimes. Hope they can't Wrath. Well, they can't Wrath. They're not gonna have Tron. They're not gonna have Tron next turn either because I get to. I guess I don't know if they could. I guess if they have Dismember, they just die. And they concede the card their tower, and then. Too bad we didn't get the Sign in Blood kill, but pretty nice. Also nice to have a couple copies of Break the Ice on the draw, since the Field of Ruin plans can be a little slow on the draw. Having these is really big deal. We're going to cut a lot of our dead removal spells. Bring in both Needles, both Break the Ice. I like some number of Tourachs usually. I think there's a good chance I'm supposed to be siding out a couple of copies of the ring. At least one. I could do something like this. The Cling to Dust are not very good either. Voidmere is also a really interesting card, where if they just have a forest in play, this card doesn't do almost anything. But it does. I think on the draw, it's probably something that you do want. Like there's a lot of hands they have where this is like 2 mana that like slows them down a ton, and like that is kind of just a big deal to have something that slows them down a lot on turn 2. Thirsty Killer card. We have 2 Sheoldred Edicts, and creatures that attack. I don't think that's a great plan. I think I'm just gonna play 1 Voidmere. I think Voidmere is better than Tourach. I think Tourach's pretty good, but I agree it's just maybe too many 4-drops on the draw though. But it's also like the Cling to Dust is probably something I'm cutting before like another 4-drop. This has been used late in this list. It's running 6-4. 6-4 is interesting. Eating post-board withdrawal. Yeah, I think being able to kill Planeswalkers with the spell is nice. Okay, well we have a Field of Ruin, we have a Voidwalker. This is a keep, I think. Although, you know, this is a hand that's would be a lot better on the play. It's kind of the dynamic of the matchup is. Yeah, your Field of Ruins are turn 3's plays against Tron, so the draw can be too slow sometimes. We can cycle our Cling to Dust, maybe get very lucky and hit a Break the Ice. And we can also play Dauthi Voidwalker turn 2. And also my opponent has shown a propensity to keep hands without Tron. Maybe they saw that we had Void Mirror in our deck, huh? It's going to be thinning a little bit here, I guess. Which is not how you play Tron. To some extent, you can keep hands that don't have turn 3 Tron in these kind of matchups. I think that you know, there's a lot of grace for keeping non-Tron hands that have like multiple 4 mana plays against like these slow black based decks. I think it is actually totally fine. A lot of the time, it's not always the correct play by them, of course, but I do think people tend to be a little bit overstated when they say that you're just never supposed to keep a hand without Tron or whatever. The format's kind of slow at the moment. Is Trinisphere a card that came back in popularity through these free spells and beans? Yeah, we had a Tron opponent Trinisphere me yesterday. It looked great. I would not mind playing it for sure. Yeah, the one ring really lets you keep slower hands. For sure. So they get another power plant. It's kind of risky to Field of Ruin them again and not put any pressure on. It's also kind of risky to... Probably riskier to just let them get Tron next turn. Yeah, we've got a 2 mana follow up. Not the most amazing one ever, but maybe you can find like a Thoughtseize or another Field of Ruin or Break the Ice or something. They have no lands? That's actually a big deal. We'll think about using Witch's Cottage to get back Dauthi Voidwalker here. I feel like it fits our curve kind of nicely because we have, Ring plus 2 extra mana this turn. I think it's fine to ultimate any 7 without turn 3 Tron in the blind. Petition was 6 yeah, but this isn't the blind. They know I'm playing like a slow black base mid range deck. Like, I agree. I agree in the blind. Yeah, sure. But in this matchup, like I think you have a ton of hands that are keepable without turn 3 Tron. I might end up Sheoldred's Edicting. Yeah, I'm probably not going to Cottage back to Voidwalker here. I may end up going like Edict, non-token creature, and then slam my 1 ring. But they are going to have Tron next turn. They're going to have a total of 10 mana, so they have Ulamog available. Yeah, so let's hope to draw Break the Ice, another Field, Thoughtseize, Tourach. A lot of good draws here. Sign in Blood is interesting. Sign in Blood is 6 damage here. Okay, backup Sheoldred is interesting as well. Maybe we just make them sacrifice the Scion. Maybe we draw 2. Probably don't want to draw 2 here. Maybe I should have just Cottage back to Voidwalker. Let's hold up the Edict. You can't target. They did not have protection that turn. They just didn't tap their ring because I had Sheoldred in play. I know I've been messing that up a lot lately, but I was fine that time. So if they could have exiled my ring if they cast the Bite off the Scion. Edict says each opponent. Well, I thought they were maybe saying I couldn't target because of the Scion of Blood. Maybe I misinterpreted that. So yeah, Scion of Blood down to, they're down to 6, then down to 4. Ooh. Yeah, let's just go Field of Ruin, Thoughtseize. I should have 2 more swamps in my deck. The next turn we can go Bowmaster plus Thoughtseize. Is Dauthi good enough to be played in the main deck? What are you talking about, Bolt? Of course. Dauthi's been a main deck staple in Modern for, like, literal years at this point. What are you talking about? It's like a 4-event scam, too. It's like, we played it of a 4-event this deck for, like, 6 months. And you also, I know that you know this. I know that specifically you know this. Hit mine to get them running out of mines early. What? Maybe I should hit power plant because they only have 1 power plant after that. In Coffers, you don't play Dauthi? Yeah, because Coffers is a shitty deck, but and this deck definitely wants to play Dauthi. They get Phyrexian Metamorph. That's very interesting. Aren't they dead now? Well, they have Phyrexian Metamorph. They can copy the One Ring. They can they'll probably copy Sheoldred though, which is a very cool line. Bowmaster Son might have the dead. Well, they're going to put a Sheoldred into play, potentially, which does not have them dead. Oh, I guess I attack with Sheoldred. They have to block. Then what happens if I go Bowmaster Sign and Blood? They take 5. Oh, they copied the One Ring. Okay. It's probably wrong, huh? Although I can't Sign and Blood them anymore because they have, you know, protection. I think again I should have got back. I should have got back to Voidwalker and then, been able to cast the Karn. I'll just get it back now. Copying shows better. No, they have protection, chat. Don't they? The ring says, when One Ring enters battlefield, if you cast it, they did cast it. They get protection. They should have protection here. I believe they have the trigger on the stack. I'm like 99% sure they have it. No, Sign of Blood is not an instant, it's a sorcery. I can just scroll up. Yeah, they put the trigger on the stack. They do have protection. They find another ring. Let's Bowmaster them. They're down to 2. Which is kind of nice when we have Sign of Blood in hand. $25 lands, WTF? Yeah, I know it's weird, but we have 8 4-drops in our deck, so you want to have at least 25 lands. Not Shizo Takumi seems free. We're playing Witch's Cottage Bolt. What about, if Bow and Sheoldred are nuts, what about the Asmo Cauldron deck with 4 reach? I was not really liking the Bowmaster Asmo Cauldron deck very much. It was okay. But yeah, I don't know. I agree, like, playing a bunch of Sheoldred seems very good at the moment. We should probably play a Voidwalker here. As Sheoldred to Rhinos. I kind of love it, Doom. I love it. You should do that today. Does he Dex Cauldron list with Imri, Mirror, and Spine Grinding Station? Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think, like I don't really understand trying to... I guess Mirror and Spine combos with Cauldron, but I feel like it seemed like like worse than like normal breach combo, um, with like a higher mana curve and diminished card quality. But it was a very cool idea. Like I thought it was neat for sure. Right, I'm gonna use my mana and cast an Orcish Bowmaster here. Maybe they counter and I can just slam the ring. These filters making me sound Dauthi. I mean, there's a little bit of tension, but we're also 25 land deck. I think it ends up just being pretty fine overall. Field of Ruins also turn into black sources eventually. Like I'll probably go Field of Ruin plus Voidwalker end of turn. Do you think people are not playing 4-color green today because they're expecting you to be metagaming against the deck by now? I doubt anyone is making that decision. Okay, 5/5 Murktide, huh? I'm gonna do this in their main phase so they can't float the mana and use it to counter my Bowmaster. So we have a Bloodchief's Thirst, 2 Sheoldred's Edict, and a Victim of Night to kill this Murktide. Don't want to just slam the One Ring into what is very obviously a counterspell. But now I can like upkeep Sheoldred's Edict, and then untap and slam the ring. They've already used 2 spell snares. They may be playing Mingu's List or, you know, 2 snares, 2 pierce or something. Pretty gross. Why Victim Knight over something like Go for Throat? Victim Knight kills more things. There's... I don't know. Y'all, I just can't with Victim Knight today. Last time we played this deck, Victim Knight... Go for Throat misses a lot of... There's a lot of artifact effect creatures in Modern. It's just... I just can't today. I don't know. Last time we played so much Victim of Night before, and it's just it doesn't miss anything. It's just the black terminate, and like the last time it was just mono like suggestions for you know anything else. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I'm not gonna play around second spell pierce. I think. Yeah, not too surprised to see a counterspell though. So we're down to 6. Do they have another counter for this One Ring? Is it ever better to just jam Sheoldred? So if I jam Sheoldred, they can't kill it with Bolt. They can kill me with Bolt. If I play the ring, protection, can't do anything. To draw a card, go to 5, play Sheoldred, go to 9, not dead to Bolt. Yeah, I also did a second Murktide, it's a good point. So nice that Murktide doesn't play Bowmaster, you just get to, like, draw your cards. Yeah, they should have at least 3 islands. I can also Cottage back a Bowmasters, but then I put myself dead to another Bolt. I guess I probably should have left that up though, because like there's a chance that they cast a card draw spell. I guess. Some Murktide lists will be going on too. I haven't seen that. Like, what are they cutting for it? It's 2 basic 17 lands. Interesting. So Cling is a nice pickup. You know, they're very far away from Unholy Heating my Sheoldred, thankfully. Kind of don't think they have 2 Lightning Bolts. But they have Bolt plus Heat. It's pretty good. Not dead though. The problem is that I can't Cottage back my Sheoldred, because I'll die. Oh, they punted. Oh, they have a second Murktide, they punted. It's funny. Okay, and I have another ring in my hand too. Could we cling a response, draw a card? We need to gain 3 life off the cling, not 2 life off the cling. We die if we die if we draw a card instead of gaining 3. You could cling and upkeep. Y'all, what does that accomplish? How is this any just play around another counterspell or? Oh, you mean to cling first to gain to draw a card and play around Bolt plus Heat? Because we still, so that we do that, and then they just cast their Murktide and kill me, I guess. Cottage back Sheoldred and cling and upkeep to not die. Can I do both? Oh, I do have enough mana for both. No, but I'm still gonna die because Sheoldred by itself doesn't like stabilize me here. You could cling when Sheoldred was in play. Yeah, I please someone explain to me in very simple terms like what that does to help me here because I don't understand. It gains life to keep me alive, but it only gives me 2 instead of 3. So wouldn't I be dead because I'm at 1 right now? So I have to draw like Sign in Blood or something. I do have a bolt off the Voidwalker, but that's not any different than just attacking. I guess I could draw another ring also. Just not anything to do besides this. Yeah, dead. Close game. They are playing snow-covered basics. I don't think we're bringing in Break the Ice. Just bringing in the Victim of Night. Just down 2 Sheoldred, or 2 Voidwalker. Could do -1 Sheoldred, -1 Voidwalker. Could try to draw to cling. I guess that leaves you with no outs. Yeah, I don't feel like we have any outs if that happens, but maybe. I could have tapped the ring, sure. Consider racing 4 Force Figure Barrier Breach, opponent can't Endurance the Beans back into the deck. Is that the cycle exile 3 enchantments? I don't know, like Force Figure being 0 mana is just like so important, but I don't know. I'm also not that worried about the endurance stuff. Yeah, it kind of seems they just like never drew a fatal pushable creature. Their only creatures were Murktide. So I just had this fatal push rot in my hand the whole game. Big Dice can also target the draw land. No, Fiery Islet can't tap for a colorless. It would be so busted if it could. Really knowing how good Spell Snare is against this deck. Yeah, they drew both Spell Snares at super important moments, I guess. Coping Beans with Calyx Guided by Fate. I'm scared to read Calyx, but I will. Gonna mulligan the one-lander. Could play one Urborg. We are playing one Urborg. Okay, so a Calyx or another enchantment is a battlefield that you control. Put a counter on target creature. Calyx or another enchanted creature you control deal damage to player. Create a copy. A token that's a copy. Do this only once each turn. I don't know. It seems like a little like a 3 mana 2/2. I guess 3 mana 3/3. There it is. Although I guess you know, it isn't named Urborg here, so fair enough. Yeah, Spell Snare seems great. Honestly, you could maybe main deck 3 spell snares. Ooh. The metal preordains. So Sheoldred's Edict means I have an answer to Murktide, so I can probably comfortably Bloodchief's Thirst this. 2 counterspells, 2 lightning bolts, 1 unholy heat. We'll take the old border counterspell. Bloodchief's Thirst this, and then try to find a moment to resolve this One Ring. Pretty easy hand to play around. Great draw. They need 2 bolts in their hand, I guess. Don't need to be that worried about it. Not yet, at least. Please play more Blue Cauldron. We will at some point, for sure. How does that get an edge against speed decks? Because Bowmaster Sheoldred. Yeah, we have 4 Bowmaster, 4 Sheoldred. The Demolition Fields can be kind of nice, too. I've kind of struggled against that because you don't have Verdant 6 in the bean decks. But as someone who's been playing, non-stop beans, I am kind of terrified of the idea of an opponent registering 4 Sheoldred against me. When I hit Preordains to consider, I guess I should have hit Preordains to consider. Rye with the 6 months, thank you. Come back. They hose the I draw all the cards game playing pretty hard, yes. Okay, I misread that at first, but yes. Okay, let's jam a 4-drop into the counterspell, and that 4-drop definitely should be Sheoldred, so we can Cottage it back. I saw a lot of people, I saw at least one person talking about how sus the Cottage was. We've played 2 matches now. We fetched for it like 3 times at least, or like this maybe be the 3rd. Perhaps maybe you're convinced now. Perhaps not. You're gonna double removal spell this? Did they think they had Delirium? Okay, we'll take that. How do you feel about Lavinia, Azorius Renegade? Lavinia's good. Okay, so we now know just a counterspell. They have 4 other cards in their hand, though. Likely all counter magic and removal. Could maybe have been better to Cottage back Bowmasters so we can effectively double spell here. Notably, that was the same art counterspell. They have mismatched counterspells, but that was the art we knew about. Not going to jam the ring unless we... Well, I guess if I jam the ring and they counter, I only have to crack 1 fetch to Cling to Dust. Yeah, maybe with the Cling to Dust, that's enough of a reason to just trade the ring for another counterspell. I guess they also have to have like a counterspell, which is, they've already used 2, so it's not insanely likely that they have another one. I guess I could have played this to play around double Spell Pierce. Yeah, they do have 3rd counterspell, but now I just get to like Cling to Dust and just like keep getting the card advantage here. Lavinia and the Merfolk sideboard. That is interesting. I thought I was going to be playing Merfolk Splinter Twin this week, but the combo didn't work how I thought it did. With Second Wind and Merfolk Rogue. Whenever it becomes tapped, exile 3. I was so excited. Okay, exile something. So now if they only have 2 basics, you know, the one more Field of Ruin would be really nice. I might just draw step. Double field. Does that make sense? Seems okay. They showed 3 less game. I thought we only saw 2 less game. Am I misremembering? Chat has been kind of nothing on you, but the amount of like really incorrect things Chat has said today is it's been already like higher than average. So I'm more skeptical today. Like last game, there was like 5 people telling me I should have clinged a spell instead of a creature, but I would have died if I did that. They also could have drawn, you know, an island for turn 2, or like could have one in. I guess unlikely to have a different one in their hand. Okay, just maybe playing our cards out so we can cling again. We have 8 swamps in our deck total. Those are snow-covered islands. I don't think you're supposed to board it and break the ice. Like, Sinkhole is just, like, very often not a card. Like imagine, okay, I break the ice on island here. Guess I could overload it, but... They bolt the Orc army instead of the Bowmaster. They just board that other card draw in this matchup. All their card draw, all their creatures. Okay, best top deck. Thoughts on Omnath to fight the Burn instead of Leyline versus Burn? I mean, Omnath is like unfavored against Burn. Like the Omnath archetype is unfavored against Burn because Omnath is like a turn 5 life gain spell against a deck that's like, you know, very good at killing you by turn 4. I don't think that sideboarding Omnath also doesn't make any sense. It's like just lunacy. It's like if you have that card in your deck, it needs to be in your main deck. It's just, you know, a very slow card, and like you really want your sideboard cards to be fast to some extent. Do they have it? If I'm gonna go ahead and cling to dust a spell of theirs before their iteration before they would grow their Murktide. But if I draw, like, do they even have 2 blue sources? If they have to have the 4th Steam Vents and the 3rd Island to be able to have Counterspell up here for what it's worth. But they did show us that they have multiple spell stairs. They also only have 1 card in their hand. I could Field of Ruin, Ooh, so I guess what my play is here is in response to this bot. Oh no, sorry, I won't have this. I won't have the Field of Ruin in play in time. Oh, they're cracking this fetch in response. That's interesting. Should I have responded to that? Why did they crack the fetch there? All right, let's just play around Counterspell. Because they're not going to have another basics if they crack the fetch. We Edict in response. Why did we respond to the fetch? I was just kind of stunned that they were fetching there, I guess. I should have. I don't really have an answer for you. They also don't have another fetchable in their deck. They only have 3 Steam Vents. But like, because I had this plan where I was going to Field of Ruin. I had this really cool line where I was going to draw my freaking card, and then I was going to Field of Ruin a land, and then in response to their fetch, I was going to Edict after that because you forced them to crack the fetch in response to Field of Ruin there, maybe. I guess you don't, because they just lose the fetch and they get the island off the field. So playing a Murktide, this one's a little bit smaller. It's a 5/5. So they're dead if they don't have a removal spell. If I just attack with these. Yeah, this happens a lot when like there's like a Murktide list on MTG Goldfish that plays 2 basics, and chat's like Murktide just plays 2 basics now. But I think the majority of people just like don't mess with the formula of the mana base that much. These Fatal Pushes have been so bad though. Wait, my opponent's last 2 cards are not 2 removal spells here. Okay. Cast into the fire, sure. Let's cycle this Fatal Push. Yeah, it has always been 3, but like, I don't know. People like updates. Thanks, Doom. Is it Sheoldred Rhinos? Super secret deck. Wait, Doom? Are you? Oh, they're there. I just totally scrolled over him. I was sad for a second. Okay, going to game 3. You probably wouldn't play 3 Sheoldred, not 4. Like 2 or 3. Okay, Voidwalker is like a lot worse than the draw. I think I'll still just keep this. So I feel like you need your Triumph to be black pretty badly if possible. It's gonna be so much easier to hit your second black source if your Triumph is black. So I don't know if that's probably Grixis Triumph, because like if you're getting green, if you want to fetch green, you want to untap so you can suspend Footfalls. I feel like maybe cutting the Beseiju also for Blood Crypt could be good. Okay, turn 1 Islet. I think it's pretty important I Thoughtseize like another Channeler or Ragavan here, because I only have 1 removal spell. Very, very, very good that we know about this Spell Snare. I think we can largely play around it. We'll see. Yeah, you could play 2 Triumphs. I think I would just play 1 Grixis Triumph. I want the second Gemstone coverage in the sideboard like super bad for what it's worth. I think I want to play Stomping Ground over the Beseiju, and then you also kind of need to rethink your fetch lands a little bit. I don't know, it's tough. Counterspell, huh? Graveyard's an island. Then Graveyarding Island's kind of nice, because now my Field of Ruins are a bit better. So then is Spell Snare, Bolt still. And I get to draw a new card here. And the Cling to Dust can, keep them off Murktide for a little while, maybe. Yeah, I feel like this should be a Grixis Triumph, and this should be a Blood Crypt, and then I'm not sure how the fetches need to change. So if they bolt me, it probably means that they drew Murktide Regent, right? So if I Field of Ruin them here, they can still Murktide, so I think I'm just going to Cling now, which will keep them off of it unless they draw a land or a bauble. If they do Murktide, it's not really the end of the world because I get to slam the ring, I guess, but... Also, if they play Murktide, they'll just have an empty graveyard, and... Okay, I was right about the Murktide read. It's a 5/5. Like, I feel like I just slam... Well, I guess we know they have 2 bolts, so if I slam Sheoldred, they do get to just double bolt it. But I guess that's kind of always going to happen, so maybe I want to do that first before playing the ring. I guess I can play ring. And then I can just, like, play Sheoldred next turn and not tap the ring. They bolted my face last turn. Right, they only have 1 bolt, so I just... Yeah, you're right. I think ring here still seems like likely fine. Iteration off the top is good. I'm excited about this deck though, dude. Why is push still the deck? I know, it's so funny. I mean, surely you're keeping in all of our pushes against the Ragavan DRC deck. It doesn't seem like they're playing Shredders. More Edict, less push. Yo, this is silly. It's like... I think we could get the Bloodchief's Thirst for a 30 Edict, maybe, but... it's... Fatal Push is not usually this... Fatal Push is a good card against Murktide. Guess I should have played this, actually. So I could Cottage back Sheoldred if they do have another removal spell. They're probably on some DRC no monkey after sideboard. Yeah, maybe. I'm still like not really cutting my pushes, but like you just have to have that 1 minute interaction on the draw. Like they're gonna have some Ragavans post board. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe just cut all the Ragavans against all Bowmaster decks. But you know, this is also kind of why like Murktide is a funny deck in general. Ooh, great draw. Okay, so it's lead on Sign in Blood. They're gonna Spell Snare. Then I can tap the Ring in response before they get Delirium for Unholy Heat. Should it be dismembered? No. Come on, y'all. I don't think so. At least, I really don't think so. Okay, tune up. Notes off topic. Is there everything? So. So I don't really want to take the Not Dead after all, because I'm going to play the Bowmaster. Although their hand is really good. If I don't... I should probably stop them from scamming Grief, but if I do that... If I play Voidwalker next turn, they get to hit me with Ragavan, which sucks, and then they get to play their own Voidwalker. Wow, their hand is incredible. I think I have to take Grief. We also know they have Bowmasters, so I think I just have to Sign in Blood now. They hit a Thoughtseize. Ugh. Tough. What a nightmare, dude. At least I was on the play. I need to cast my Sheoldred next turn. So I think that they sack at their Ragavan here. Then they are going to Not Dead after all their Bowmaster. Cast the Sheoldred. I'll Cling to Dust the Voidwalker before it undies, and then all we have to do is beat a fucking Sheoldred and a Bowmaster and 4 other cards in their hand. I feel like Scalding Tarn might be your best fetch, Doom. It misses Overgrown Tomb, hits everything else, where Misty Rainforest misses... I guess it just misses Blood Crypt. I guess that's always going to be the case. You just miss one fetch. One shock. But with Misty. Yeah, but you should maybe do more of a split, too. Not sure. I feel like you might get Blood Crypt more than you get Overgrown Tomb. Wow, they don't cast the Not Dead after all. Do they know about my Cling? Oh, I guess I forgot they knew about the Cling. I guess I'm gonna cast this now. Get Bowmastered. We gotta draw some cards though. Like Misty has a basic force. Oh, of course. Never mind. Yeah, you should play for Misty then. Fatal Push. Oh, We'll take it. Fighting for our lives. Okay. That was tough, dude. That was such a great draw from them. Okay, so we're bringing the extra Victim Knight. Very important to have these so you can kill Furies. It's a big part of the reason why they're here. Because, like, in your Fatal Push deck, Fury can be a big problem. So I think I'm usually just +2 Victims, -2 Voidwalkers. Although, maybe I should be -1. Let's do -1 Voidwalker, -1 SIDEBOARD. SIDEBOARD can be weird against their Bowmasters. Maybe set out some Thoughtseize on the draw. Yeah, Thoughtseize is a lot better on the play. We are on the play, though. This Crusader's too slow insect turn on the board. I think it's unnecessary, because you have 4 Sheoldred for a Bowmaster. It's also like, in the Cauldron deck, you're buffing them with Crusader and killing them in like 2 turns with it. Crusader is like a 5-turn clock that turns into a 6-turn clock if they chump it with Shardless. Is Tourach still needed? I thought you were sort of off it versus 4 color. I don't think so. I still very much like to have that card versus 4 color. Could be a good cyborg option for speed. Yeah, maybe it's better than Tourach because of mana curve considerations, though. Could maybe see that being the case. Can't really mulligan this hand. I like Tourach over Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseize is very good on the play against Scam. I think I would always play 4 copies on the play versus Scam. We're also like usually way better in the top deck war already. We already way out 4-drop them. We don't need to also play Tourach. Okay, let's take the Bowmaster here, I think. I know they can like Thoughtseize my ring, but the ring is worse with the Bowmaster still over there. We have a second Sheoldred to terminate. I mostly just like have like the better late game here, so I want to just slow down their draw. Your last one Blacklist had the Scam Grief package. Don't think it's worth it more. Well, we played a version like this last, but yeah, Nassif wasn't playing the Scam Grief package, and I think that makes sense to me. Just you get a lot more consistency with the deck. I know that playing the Swamp here gives the perfect info about my hand, but I like playing it so that I can maybe save this for a Cottage or a Fatal Push. See, Fearless running Emrakul Promise in sideboard. What matchup do you think is 4 color? 4 color. The grindy matchups, you know. All Sheoldreds. Maybe it should be draw step. Well, I should feel this actually. They can be kind of light on red sources. I guess they have the Bloodstained Mire. It's kind of bad if I Field of Ruin them here and they have, if they have a Bowmaster, because they get Bowmaster plus Terminate, but just do it, I guess. It's good to get all the black sources in play for you. It's great that they have nothing proactive to do here. Okay, nice to have because of the not dead after all. Definitely want to draw on your turn because of Thoughtseize. Not that they're super likely to scam something this turn. Okay, I seem a little confused in how they're tapping their mana. So they tap 2 Blood Crypts for Voidwalker, with consideration, I suppose, for me Field of Ruining their Blood Crypts. So they have only black effects up. Keep all the Sheoldreds I can. I know that this is putting me shields down a little bit against their not dead after all, but I want to begin in some life here, if possible. I feel like this kind of makes them make the first move, you know. Is it worth casting Clink? I think so, because I think this makes them like fetch for the Terminate, then we get to gain more life. Although I could be wrong about this. It is kind of bad news that they get to cast their own Sheoldred now. And I don't get to cling the Voidwalker anymore. Luck total is really high though, and I've got the ring advantage, and we'll be at Sheoldred parity. Their last card is like third Terminate. It's such a nightmare, but I guess I still have my fourth Sheoldred or whatever. Okay, so I think this is kind of weird. Oh no, I don't care about them undying this. Well, because I'll just Victim of Night this now. But I'm thinking that like if they scam it because they drew a scam card for turn, then it comes back to play under my control. But I think it's just more relevant to not let them gain 2 life here. Yes, they get the Victim of Night, my Sheoldred. I just have a 4th one. Although one of them was cottaged. I guess they could just play the Sheoldred again, huh? Right. Guess that makes more sense. You could play this game better. I should have held up the cling that one turn. It's actually kind of a relevant card to see. So now we know this is gonna cut them off of a mana. No, I guess not that there's much they could draw with the mana is relevant, but I want to hold up the cling, I guess, no matter what. Just so I can not die to my... I guess they have really no outs, but the life gain's nice to have here, so we can't play Voidwalker and hold up Cling anyways. Might as well Field of Ruin them. Okay, on the draw. I know Thoughteize is poor on the draw, but it's also like, it's just so tough to be like, alright, we're bringing in... This is our mana curve now. We have 11 4-drops. Tourach is also like much worse on the draw. Sign of Blood is also worse on the draw because of Bowmaster. I might go down to 2. Bring that 4 Sheoldred. Oh, I didn't cut his Sheoldred in the first place, did I? I guess I did trim 1. Yeah, I think just having like a lower curve is so important here. Let's do this. I didn't cut a Sheoldred. I didn't, right? I'm confused. That for the whole time. Okay, I just dragged it out. I'm confused how I dragged it out, but I guess that's the case. Okay, well, they have Scam Grief, they get to take both pushes, unfortunately. But a hand I'm happy to have. Yeah, I'd love to see him tap for red. I think with second push, I'm pretty okay with them undying the Bowmaster here. Kind of like time walks them. I have to go Thoughtseize push. They're thinking about it. They decided not to get time walked. The Ragavan sucks. The people just like don't even undying it on turn 2. Just play their broken 2-drop instead. Do you listen to Dive Down podcast episodes after they come out? No, I think it'd be kind of weird to. Like, I was there. Recording it, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, just play your Scam Grief instead. What do we do about this? I guess we play Voidwalker and then kind of hope that they have something we can steal with the Thoughtseize to deal with this if we don't draw an answer. Yeah, every time your Scam opponent plays Troll Ragavan, you're like, oh, thank Cloth this, dude. Yeah, we have 2 Edicts, we have 3 Victim of Nights, we have 5 removal spells we could draw to kill this. But now they can Thoughtseize my Thoughtseize, just so if they have like another Fury in their hand, I can't steal it. Never mind. Fury, 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 Fury. Fable, while we're taking it. They got no cards in their hand. No. Yeah, Fable flips back under your control. It specifically says under your control, so you can steal it. You can steal it like this. And I know that sometimes you think because it flips it go back under their control, but that is thankfully not how it works. Maybe it's actually best to block the Bowmaster so I can Cottage it back, but I can Cottage it back next turn too. Dude, come on! Ugh, so sad. They have 2 spells in their hand too, which is tough. Consideration for more Edicts over Victim Knight. I mean, one problem is like if like one big reason we play the cards is so that we can kill Scam Fury, and like the problem with Victim is that you just have any other creature that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to so I was going to Cottage back Bowmaster, we could copy it, get a lot of chump blockers and stuff, but I think now we just kind of have to draw something. Like, I'm not going to Cottage back a chump blocker, I think. It's literally 4 lands in a row. Frustrating. Was it even more than that? I don't know. This is my only line. No, I had the line to, like, draw something good. Would you Cottage back if you weren't streaming? No. You lose the game if you Cottage back Bowmaster. Like, they have a Wicked Roll token, you're just gonna die. Yeah, I don't think Scam's a particularly bad matchup, but, you know, any deck is capable of losing to it. Not sure what they're doing over there. Let's lead on Bowmaster. Or should I Voidwalker? Probably a bean deck, right? So we get to, you know, hopefully do the bean killing. I'm gonna go Voidwalker Thoughtseize here. It's a good draw. So I have a Solitude. I mean, we'll see what they have in a second. Probably. Plane shift to 15 months. Thank you. Welcome back. That's a really good hand. Do we take the Binding so they can't? So like this is their white card for Solitude. So it's kind of tough. It's tough if they draw land and they go Agent Beanstalk Binding. That's bad. This kind of makes them draw a white card, and it's also like I guess they have Force for my wondering, but could take the Force. Although I think I would like to try to. I would like to try to cast it to Fairy maybe to beat the Force. So let's like. I think that taking the Binding also does the best job with that because it's most likely my Voidwalker lives. Been grinding the second Caliber Blast. How do you recommend both? Everyone? Yeah, I think both are good. Surprised to see 3 Clings in the middle we're trying to target. Like, so one is like, Cling is just a very good card. It is incredibly, it has low opportunity cost, very high floor. It's going to cycle, gain life. It's a card that gives you a lot of equity against scams specifically. The card's very good against scams, copying their scam plan, giving you a late game card advantage engine. It's, you know, it really just like has super duper high floor in general too. So yeah, happy enough we took the Binding here, I think. So I think I want to save the Sign in Blood to target them, funny enough. Or potentially target them. We do this main phase, we could draw Thoughtseize. Doing any of the qualifiers this weekend? I forgot what... I didn't look at the schedule. I'm playing in a paper 10K on Sunday, so... Any thoughts on adding Feed the Swarm for Beanstalk matchup? Feed the Swarm is not good against up the Beanstalk. What is good against it is the 4 main deck Sheoldred 4 main deck Bowmaster. Canax the 9, thank you. This is the concern matchup for the deck for me. It's so hard to fight the 12 beans. What's funny is I feel the opposite. I feel like this deck is like very much metagamed against the 12 bean deck. As someone who's been playing a lot of beans, I'm so scared of anyone main decking 4 Sheoldreds. Like that just seems like an almost impossible thing to beat. Because like everything that answers Sheoldred like triggers bean, and like Sheoldred is like just gonna like dome you for 6, and this is like after you've been. Then Drug Fire Ice there is really brutal, but. Oh wow, perfect. So I guess I should just attack them. Solitude bust, yeah, but even if they Solitude, they're like taking 4. And they didn't Solitude my Voidwalker, so I kind of don't think they have another white card in their hand. Oh. Thought I only had 4 mana for some reason. And I also have the Sign in Blood in my hand, too. Okay, they do. Yeah, I think the 4 Sign in Blood's also like being able to finish your opponent off are pretty nice here. I could be wrong. Like we may lose this game, but I've been losing a lot to Sheoldred. If I am wrong, we just play the bean deck in the 10K, huh? Okay, so let's go Cottage back Bowmasters. Maybe can I go Cling into Bowmasters here? Because I want to keep my... Like, I could do that at instant speed through this Force of Negation. I can do it... do I have enough cards? I don't have enough cards. I just have to go Sign in Blood. Losing the Sign in Blood isn't amazing. The main deck Endurance. So what did they exile there? Exile Shardless Agent. So they have a Force of Negation. Could conceivably have another blue card, but then they'd be down to 1 card in their hand, and okay, they pitch another Force of or they pitch Bring to Light. I see. So let's draw 2. Bowmaster Sign in Blood. That is worth. So I go Bowmaster, ping them to 7, Sign in Blood them down to 3, and then you just really want to get them down to 3 with 2 Beanstalks in play. They shock in Godless Shrine. So they have Hardcast Solitude as their last card. So if I go cast Bowmaster, yeah, I guess we just win, right? Or can I field them off of anything? So target this. And they're just dead. They're dead if they Solitude now, and they're dead if they Solitude after the Sign in Blood. They don't immediately die here, but they can't. They can't cast a Solitude, and they like can't cast anything. I guess they can target their own Shardless Agent, but then I just ping the agent, I guess. They go to 5. Yeah, I guess if they target their agent. They target the Bowmaster. Wait, no, I miscalculated! What? I totally miscalculated. They drew Yawgmoth. Oh my gosh. I thought they were going to 0 instead of 1. I just couldn't count. So I guess I just had to Sign in Blood myself, hold the Bowmaster, and like kind of can't lose. Ugh, fuck. Sorry, chat. You want to bring an Void me? Oh, I guess they only have Charlotte. Well, they have a lot of pitch cards too. Bring the first copy, not both. Yeah. Yeah, but if we just hold the Bowmaster there, we kind of can't lose, I think. Maybe we can. Can we Sign and Blood them first? Sign and Blood them first is kind of an interesting line. We went 2 pushes. Yeah, that was the Twitch chatter all along. Get to play test the matchup more if we go to game 3 though. Okay, on the play. Voidmere is pretty cool. Kind of tempting to not turn 1 Thoughtseize. But if this was another black source, we would. But if you keep the Sign of Blood, when they have Solitude in ways, respond to Solitude with it. Yeah. If you Sign of Blood your first up first, you would have 1. Yeah, I think that we definitely punted. I just miscounted. Dismember, Magmatic Sinkhole, Omnath. Dismember's kind of interesting because I don't really mind them spending so much life here. I think I take the Sinkhole. Oh, maybe I guess I could have also just taken Dismember and then the Sinkhole is always offline because I have Voidwalker turning off Delve. I guess taking Dismember is better. I just feel like if they're doming themselves for 4, it's so nice for me. Taking Omnath is probably fine also. When I bring in Voidmore, I think I sold 2 in the sideboard. What's the point of 2? I mean, I want the second against like Living End. Right now I'm like also kind of like tentatively wanting to play only 1, but I want to see how it performs and maybe we play more than that. I guess knowing that they've got Omnath, let's just double Bowmaster them. But I don't think the card's amazing against them. They have plenty of answers to it, and drawing the second copy could be bad, but maybe drawing the second copy is good because they have a lot of answers to it. Does Windmaker mess with Voidwalker? Yeah, it does. Voidwalker still attacks. So you want to split for some reason for Living End through me? Yeah. I think you want 1 Chalice, 2 Voidmere because it's easier to have 2 lock pieces and play at once if you do that split. Man, they're drawing Fire Ice at the right time. So like such a perfect draw there. So get them off of Bring to Life for 5 or Domain, I guess. Then let the Omnath thing begin. I think I'm unlikely to want a Cottage back Bowmaster. I guess I should Cottage back Bowmaster so I can keep attacking with my Orc army. Actually, I've got pretty good attack. No, you still spend colored mana on Dismember. Have I boarded Cherk at all? We boarded him in here. So this is the matchup for him. It's kind of telling that they decide to play their Xander's Lounge. MK Dalo, the 30 months. Thank you. So you just have a second Omnath or Solitude? I don't see the line. Something. Yeah, Bring to Light. Oh, I forgot that this version also plays Bring to Light. Maybe we should have both Void Mirrors. They do have 2 black triomes. That's actually pretty interesting. Oh, nice. Almost no chance they know that this is about to do nothing. Or maybe they have something that's uncounterable, though. No, they just bring to light for Solitude. Cool. Man, it is funny that Void Mirror can stop a 5-mana spell out of the 5-color deck. I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah, I'll bring in the second Void Mirror. I did forget it stopped Bring to Light too. I thought it was just like the Cascaders and the... Okay, I don't have another Cottage, unfortunately. Cascaders and the... pitch spells. Well, we can't Solitude because we have the Void Mirror ourselves. Wow, I can't believe how good this push is. Yeah, if they had Supreme Verdict, that would have been an amazing play. This attack is really bad versus Solitude. Yeah. I think it's okay to just jam. Maybe you're right. Maybe we can play around it well enough. They don't have a land? King HJ with the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Oh, was that an updated state of Modern? I don't know. Probably not. Think of the draw. I'm going to play 3 pushes. Just like that 1 mana removal against Yawgmoth can be so nice. Goes Endurance too. Don't really want to kill Shardless Agent, but that is another target, I guess. I'm going to mulligan this on the draw. Push over Victim. Well, Victim just being 2 mana is so tough. But it could be better than I give it credit for. Like, the removal spells in general aren't that good. Like, I'm just going to put this back. I like trying to swamp there. It's probably very close. I agree that it's close. There's, you know... I don't feel very passionate about either side of the argument. So no binding this turn if they have binding. They might Teferi. No Teferi either. Let's see what you do have. They do have a binding, and they opted to not cast it in response here. Can't imagine that that's not the take. Oh, I mean, taking Subtlety, I could take Subtlety, just play a second Void Mirror actually, and they don't have a good answer for my Tourach. Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, they have Dismember, but then if I'm getting the 3-for-1, it's kind of nice. They also might Dismember this. Kind of a weird spot. We do have to, you know, draw a land, but we at least have a play next turn. What's the benefit to no Coffers? I am a very strong believer that Coffers is suboptimal. You get, like, the biggest thing is you get to play a sideboard, and you get to mulligan well, and, like, you don't have to keep, like suboptimal, like, bad hands, but that are functional, because Coffers has a lot of non-functional draws. Okay, let's not Bowmaster into Hardcast Solitude, I guess. I guess I probably should have also Field of Ruined already, so I could have 3rd black if I draw another field. They casting like an Endurance here? You don't have to play 4 Urborgs? I mean, most people do play 4 Urborgs, but you also have non-functional hands because you have Coffers with no Urborg. I played a lot of Coffers, and I keep a lot of hands that I know are bad at the matchup, but I keep them because I know you have to mulligan so much. Like, you're just kind of happy to have, like, any hand that looks functional a lot of the time. Which is not a glowing argument for the deck. Oh, they don't have Hardcast Solitude up anymore. Is that on purpose? I don't know if it was on purpose. I'm going to Bowmaster now. Oh, there's a benefit to this. Yeah, we just play one Urborg. Let me see what you're saying. We need our 4th lands really bad. Let's just cast this. In response, they binding my Bowmaster. Deal. Surprised they didn't want to like hardcast Dismember. This endurance is pretty bad for me. I think I'm still attacking. Their hand is Dismember, Solitude, Time Warp, Mystery card. I don't think they'll pull the trigger on a Time Warp here, most likely. It's very satisfying to Southern Titan 4-color. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think both decks are good at beating up 4-color for what it's worth. Think I could take 3 more. Could have been better to leave the Orc army back and try to triple block or double block plus ping. It's kind of like a blowout against the known Dismember though. So their hand is Solitude, Dismember, 2 mystery cards. Very interesting that they're just main phase grabbing basic planes. There's a good chance this Field of Ruin just gets the strip bind them or whatever. Got 2 Tourachs also. Like, there's a good chance they have to like Dismember the Tourach in response to the trigger. Because if they lose the Dismember, I guess they could pay 4 life. Dismember then Solitude. Dead. That is quite the card. Are they going to Solitude my Orc army here? It's such a weird game. Wow, such an odd game here. They have no cards in their hand. I'm like actually jumping with a Bowmaster. Down to 5. So it's just a 3-minute 2/2. If I could find a Sheoldred, I end the game. Interesting that they want to get the Beanstalk out of the deck. I feel like I would maybe keep it in. I don't know. If I Cottage back Bowmaster, my life total is solo. I'll go to 3, cast it, get pinged down to 2. I guess I just messed up attacking with the Orc army. I mostly just like perceive myself to be the aggressor in the matchup, so I'm taking the more aggressive line, but it seems like it was wrong. So go down to 4. We have another ring at least. We have 4 Sheoldreds to draw into that kind of end the game as soon as we find it. We are down to 1 Cling to Dust, which, otherwise would be another out here. I also didn't think they were going to cast that Time Warp, but I think that was wrong. I think it does just make sense for them to cast the Time Warp. Dauthi achieves nothing. Would probably be better to play Naked Tourach. I think it's better if I draw a ring, then I get to attack for 3. Tourach doesn't get to attack for 3. I might also still kick Tourach this game if I draw Sheoldred. I don't. I'm just dead. Feels bad. I guess I'm not dead. I can draw Cling to Dust off this trigger next turn, but just a 1-outer. Can't steal anything with the Voidwalker because of my own Void Mirrors, unfortunately. Just 2 lands over there anyways. So yeah, 3, I guess, 3 looks that are 1-outer into Cling, and then we still have to draw something after that. We also have to, jump with our Bowmaster. Oh, they're just not playing it, sure. Okay, well, I'll play my Bowmaster. One life too late. I guess I just messed up really bad with that Orc army attack. I think if we don't attack there, we're in fine shape. Feels bad. I think I punted game 1 and game 3 when I got Bean Killer the title, but this hand in the blind might be keep on the play. I just couldn't pivot to defense fast enough in my mind, huh? Wasn't thought of fetching and cast Dauthi a couple turns before. Well, my thinking is like if I to win this game I need to like draw Sheoldred, and like I also like it feels so bad to just like have like this mana rotting in my hand. I guess maybe I did make another punt there by casting the Voidwalker, but I did need that mana anyways to play Tourach plus Bowmaster to not be dead to their attacks anyways, so I don't know. That's okay. No, Urza Saga would not be good in this deck. Urza Saga as a Courser's Accord is just like so underpowered. Or honestly, Urza Saga just like as a like even like in Hammer and Hardened Scales is not winning a lot of games these days. Wimir was the MVP that game. I don't know. I actually feel like I did almost nothing. I mean, it's up to Charlotte's Agent. I disagree that it was an MVP that game. But it was good the game before. So we are getting hammered, so we have to draw something. Classic mono black, no removal spells. If you play Restricted Response to Damage Trigger, do you think Sheoldred has Flash, or you're just memeing? Yeah, I think this matchup's pretty good. We've got a bunch of Path of Perils post board. The Ring is very strong against them. I play a couple of Jund Saga decks, a lot of decks Urza Saga. Name a deck in Modern that is weak to Urza Saga tokens. Scam? I think Scam is like maybe the only example. Name another deck that is bad to Urza Saga at token activations besides Scam. I don't think Omnath is, I don't think Hammer is, I don't think Scales is, I don't think Yawgmoth is, I don't think Tron is. I think I got the best win condition out. Well, just say it, Da Vinci. Just say it. Murktide? Maybe Murktide, yeah. I mean, Murktide is weak to anything, but yeah. Burn? Yeah, okay, Burn. Sure. Yeah, maybe more than I gave you credit for. Control decks. I think Blue-White Control is pretty good against Saga token activations, honestly. Everything mid-range. I mean, not 4-color Omnath, which is, you know, one of the premier mid-range decks, right? So we need to find at least one removal spell to survive. And there we go. Jace Wilder of Mysteries? I don't know. Seems fine. I'll say this. I see a lot of people online talking about the whole, like, you know... Oh, they just played another Ring this turn, right? I think I keep this Ring so I can gain more life off Sheoldred next turn. And I can Fatal Push this Ornithopter this turn, maybe. Maybe Thoughtseizing them is better. Let's just draw our 2 cards first. So I go down to 5, then 3, Sheoldred. I think I don't want to Thoughtseize so that I can so I can actually take this hit. I don't know. Like if your opponent knows this is your plan, they can just like hold up Leyline Binding and Leyline Binding your Jace, right? This is not like always going to work. Okay, that'll be hard to beat. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you'll get them like game 1, but if they can just binding your Jace, you lose immediately. Then you binding response your Solitary Commandeer. Oh, but then they commandeer your Commandeer. But then they binding your binding. And I don't know. Like, what are we saying? Like, this is nice. If you have everything and you've drawn your entire deck, it's good. But I'm not super excited about it. Is all I'm trying to say. Oh, sorry. too focused on the stupid Jace, but you know, this pushing that does nothing. That was a pretty bad misplay. Passive is good. I don't know, y'all. I'm not that excited about it. But it's also been something that's been suggested a few times. It's not, you know, super new either. What do I know? Just punted this game pretty bad. Although I guess if I push the... So if I push the Paladin... Yeah, they still could just hammer. So let's... I mean, if I Thoughtseize, they're gonna... cast the hammer too. Signable lethal? Is it? It's not lethal, right? Oh, it is lethal. I've been playing so bad today, y'all. This is like the worst I've played in weeks. Sorry, y'all. Too stunned by the Jace World of Mysteries. I don't know. I see like most people online on Twitter though when talking about the 4-color mirror, they're talking about how it always comes down to decking. It has come down to decking a few times in my experience, and it's like something you need to be cognizant of. But the vast majority of games, like someone gets the advantage and wins. In my experience, with like the bean mirror. So I'm not. So in my experience, I don't really feel like the bean or the Jace World of Mysteries is this big bean like mirror breaker. I really want to keep all 4 Bowmasters. That's a good answer too. Sentinel. I want only 1 needle. I think you can just deck with 4 beans and don't care too much. Yeah, I understand that that's the appeal, but like, I'm just saying. I think that you know you are likely going to be able to win the game before that happens if you are performing so well, and you're also likely to lose the game if your opponent is able to like interact with you too much, and you know like usually one person gains control of the game and wins. They outdraw the other person. It does not. Game 1 does not usually come down to decking. And then like you have a Jace World of Mysteries in your deck. You know, it's like it's just a pretty underpowered card, and that's the problem, right? I'm not saying it has no value, you know, maybe, but I just like, and this is something we've been saying a lot too. Like, you could really build the 4-color deck with any of these mirror breakers. You can play Jace, you can play Time Warps, you can play all of this stuff. None of it seems like it's like definitely the clear best plan, and they all have weaknesses. You can play Elder Deep Fiend. Elder Deep Fiend's been good, but it's just kind of a wash in my mind at the moment. You may have taken the Stoneforge Mystic there. You can't play Oracle. You'll cascade into Oracle. Yeah, Elder Deep Fiend has been great. I've been very impressed by Deep Fiend. I think like the control Omnath plan is good too. I think it's all good. So they do get their Cauldron. We draw Sheoldred's Edict. We have a pretty clean answer to it at least. Another good draw. But I also don't think that we're at the point in the metagame where you're supposed to be main decking like your mirror breakers. Like, the bean decks are popular, but I don't think that they're so popular that you're main decking like, you know, suboptimal card to compensate. Okay. So they don't surge in response. I guess I probably should have drawn first, but was kind of thinking they would just surge, and thinking that I was also thinking I always wanted the Thoughtseize here.
pretty good. Should be pretty safe to jam my Sheoldred though, since we know their last card is just Cauldra, so you know they can't draw a protection spell plus hammer this next turn cycle. We should play Sheoldred in the Bean decks. Yeah, a Sheoldred could be pretty sick in Bean. The problem is like Omnath does a similar thing and pitches to everything, so like it would probably be difficult to really convince me that Sheoldred is better than Omnath. Okay, so we have Field of Ruin for the Nexus, Bowmaster for the Nexus. We're not, even if they hammer Ornithopter, we just have way too much life, so I feel okay enough about Fatal pushing the Paladin. What if you despise Omnath at a personal level? Yeah, me too. They might be dead if I draw another Bowmaster to Sign in Blood if they don't block. Let's prioritize here getting a basic land count from them potentially. Okay, yeah, I don't know if they I don't know if that means they have 3, but I think they figured out that's what we're doing. Are there Black Cascaders? There's Dread Return, which is significantly worse than the other options. They normally have 4. This sounds about right. Oh, sorry, not Dread Return, Demonic Dread. I think I've probably called Demonic Dread Return every single time I've ever referred to it on the stream. But yeah, that's not the name. As a theory of Sheoldred Bowmaster working fine. So we're 0-1 against Bean, but both games I lost that match. I could have won if I had not punted. So like as far as like the deck construction against Bean working, but you know, you do have to play super tight and you know, not really slip up. Yeah, Demonic Dread is so hard to remember because like there's a million demonic cards, there's a few dread cards, and you know, it's obscure enough these days. Back when Living and played, yeah, Forbidden Orchard, those were the days. Yeah, Needle of the One Ring is good against us. They have 2 Sanctifiers. The Path to Exile. I do have a lot of answers to Sanctifier in the deck. I think we'll just Thoughtseize one of them here. There's also a small chance they play Saga next turn. They should probably play Plains. Sanctifier. But if they do play Saga, could maybe Thoughtseize the other Sanctifier. Their hand's like 4 sideboard cards too. You're seeing any path to make the deck feel better against Bean. Honestly, like, I don't think the deck is bad against Bean. You know, I hate to, like, you know, go on about how I punted or whatever, but it is worth noting, like, both games we lost against Bean were winnable if I just had it misplayed. But if this build is not good against Bean, you shouldn't play it. Feed the Swarm is not a playable modern card. You should almost never choose to include it. So it's very rare. I felt like the conditions are right to include that card. It's not one. The card is also not good against the Bean decks. Like, Prismatic Ending your Beanstalk is not good against Bean. Like, you need to be, like, removing multiple things for cheap or, you know... It's just not a good strategy to fight them in general. Probably should actually be... Thoughtseizing here, right? Tyroline with the 18 months, thank you. I guess I'm taking the Path to Exile. Second Needle doesn't do much. Yeah, shout out to Knight's Whisper. So the matchup was tight, so I was wondering if you had any paths to make it less tight. You have to play tight. I don't know if that makes the matchup tight. I don't think there's much more you can do than main deck for Sheoldred. Yeah, they might need my field, but I have to break the ice for the Saga. If I do draw a Black Source, I will Field of Ruin the Saga and push the token. Just draw another dead card. Feels bad keeping, you know, 2 land on the draw, not drawing a 3rd land in your 25 land deck. But, of course, yeah, this is my punishment for punting game 1 really tough. Just play this league really bad in general. Is Void Mirror a decent sideboard card for Scales now? Yeah, Void Mirror could be a way for Scales to combat the Bean deck. If they don't end up drawing much, we may do something like push both tokens, trade 2 damage for a little while, and then use Sign in Blood as, you know, 2 mana 6 damage to finish them off. We're not, you know, they're at 13, so it's not like a clean multiple here. Maybe they'll like fetch one more time because that's not the most likely. They may also grab Shadow Spear here, which makes that play not as good either. They do get the Shadow Spear. They just jam a hammer to grow the construct. Sheoldred's Edict is, you know, beyond just a land. Probably our best draw. Another Bowmaster is kind of interesting. So if they equip onto the Construct, we'll push the Construct. If they equip onto the Sanctifier and attack with the Construct, we may chump block here, Bowmaster, and then try to win the game with a with a Sign in Blood. Because at that point it's representing 6 damage plus 4 amass. So they named the Field of Ruin. They attack with both. Chump block here. So yeah, I think that they're dead if we draw a black source. This is 8 damage, right? Or hold on, so this has become 5 power. And then they lose 2 from the Sign in Blood. And then they lose 4 from the amass. So 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 5, 11, 12, 13. I think it's Xaxes. Field of Ruin. I am not surprised at all that we drew Field of Ruin. That being said, we are in very good shape if they draw non-base. Oh, so we can't because it's needled. I was playing fast and loose though. Okay, can't Field of Ruin because of the needle. They're still dead to an untap black source. Finally. Guess they could draw like a Path to Exile, but what a game. What a game. Both players, weird draws. Honestly, for someone who didn't cast almost any spells, beating Double Sanctifier Saga is pretty nice. I did play that league really bad overall. Let's hope to like play this next one better. Yeah, and you know, Sign in Blood is just so good at killing your opponent. I'm really happy to be playing it over Night's Whisper, and I also think that the